Good evening, guys.
Well, that intro.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Obviously, you can see now they were joined by Andy Tate. Needs no introduction. To be fair, Monday doesn't need any introduction to be fair either. So, guys, look at the agenda. Um, you know we're going to be talking about Rashford, but before we go any further, can we just say a couple of howdies in the messages, please? And I've seen Andrew Williams has gone off, and the show hasn't even started yet. So,
Yeah, big up to Solo. How you doing, Solo? Hope you're doing well. Give us a call when you got time, please. We've got UK Strange in the house saying sell Rashford, make a statement to the rest of the team. That's what he would recommend. Andrew Williams in the house. And his first comment is to say, who the F put the thumbnail on? Go and check out the thumbnail, guys. If there's an issue, we will sort it out. DK Wilson saying, evening, folks, all the way from US of A. Hope you're doing well, DK. Big up, man. Good evening to everyone from Bart Series fan. All right, all, says Andrew. He's been nice now. And big up to the people. My Propol. Okay, Jeff. Big up, Jeff, all the way from the US of A. And who else? Ed Mayhem. Ed Mayhem, I liked one of your tweets on Twitter. I don't go in there often these days. But as soon as I went on the other day, your face popped up wearing a Man United shirt. So big up Ed Mayhem. He said, good evening, guys. First thing, the thumbnail. How is it Ten Hag's fault? Maybe that's to attract you to the show, maybe to entice you to come in. Welcome. And Bart saying here, nice to see you, Mr. Tate. What's your take on the manager set to leave Liverpool? Hopefully he'll sleep better now. 7-0, 5-0. Obviously, Bart is a Liverpool fan as well. There you go.
Klopp shattered. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, after
something personal, and then thinking time it'll come out.
Do you reckon it's personal, or do you reckon like something he smelt something in the distance coming his way regarding Liverpool or some sort of controversy?
I don't think there's anything controversial. I just think the guy's I seen the interview, he looks absolutely mentally drained, and sometimes you need a timeout. Pep did it when he left Bayern Munich, didn't he? So, and it took a year out. He came into Man City, so it's just the rest thing. It could be something else we don't know. You know, it's personal, isn't it? So, he might end up in sunny Catalonia in the summer, so you don't know. So, nice bit of sun. I'd rather take the sun in Barcelona than the sun on Merseyside any day of the week.
Just quickly, Andy, I mean, I know he's been there for 7-8 years now. Overall, how do you rank him, Klopp, as a Man United fan? Would you give him respect?
I'll give him respect, but I won't rank him alongside Alex Ferguson. The Liverpool fans, you're thinking he died. You know what I mean? I've seen the pictures of Elton John and the picture of Klopp on the candle in Klopp in the wind. You know, I've seen the picture, playing a tribute. Seems to me that you were on the Mersey way. Or whatever, you know what I mean? So, yeah. Fair play to him. He's won everything in 9 years, but when you stick it at it for 26 years and you've won more than 4 trophies, you know what I mean? You can't compare Klopp to Alex Ferguson. End of.
I like that. I like that. Nobody's got any talk for that, really, to be fair, have they?
Me, Bob.
Oh God, Lucky Singh, long time no see. How you doing? Rashford out, McTominay out. Bloody hell, the show hasn't even started, and you're going in on him already. Well, look, obviously we know the drama that went on over the last couple of days. Is it unprofessionalism? Is it immaturity? Is it the fact that he might just not give a toss? Eric Ten Hag. I did put it in there, and I did do the thumbnail to dig out a few people. Are his rules too strict? Is it something that he should be bending to suit? I see Andy shaking his head already. This is what it said. This is what we put it out there for. This is what we put it out there for. Is he too strict with his rules? Should he be treating certain players differently than other players? We've got a quote from McTominay that I'll put up in a little while. But I saw you shaking your head, Andy. So you know what? He's been fined 2 weeks' wages. Can this be the end of the the end of the matter because he's been fined 2 weeks' wages, or are you expecting more?
Jay said this on the paddock this afternoon. I watched his podcast. There's 3 incidents over the last few years. Are there any more that has been covered up by previous managers? We don't know. I've heard rumours around Manchester. He loves to party. Certain nightclubs in Manchester, you're not allowed to take your mobile phone in. You know, and it's exclusively for footballers and personalities, famous people. So it's just one of those things. It could there be more? I don't know, but I'll say I'll always commend him for what he did for the kids during lockdown. A true champion, but you know what? He needs discipline. He basically his entourage, his brother, and his management lied to Manchester United, and Man United came out with that statement saying he went out on a Wednesday and he was off and he was okay. He didn't go out Thursday. It was a Wednesday. Basically, he went out Wednesday, Thursday. He led the club on, and the club come out with a statement. I think it was it Thursday or Friday, and said he was fine. Then the Athletic come out. Was it Laurie Whitwell? And the Athletic are like well respected and all that. And he's confirmed that he was out. Now, whether he was drinking that last night or he was just too tired and he phones in sick, I can't be bothered getting out of bed. You know what I mean? If any of us 3 do that tomorrow morning, we're up in the office. And we don't like this, So I don't like it. I really don't like his attitude. It stinks. He's got the same attitude now as Jadon Sancho. Like I said this to Mr. B at the start of the season. Do you remember when he was going to sign his contract? It was just before the season started. Oh, he's going to sign. I said, I don't think this is a good idea. You should give incentives. You perform, you get this bonus. You perform, you get that bonus. And he just signed it. It's a big PR spin. Him smiling with his family, his brothers, his mum and dad. He's a family lad. But you know what? No, I'm not having it. I say, mate, I'm sick to the batsy for Rashford now. And he's giving it out against Tottenham. Yeah. Thinking he's a DJ on it, spinning the turntables, giving it the silence. And I'm just not interested anymore. And if you are upset the kids this summer, go and feed the kids in Paris. I don't give a toss anymore about Marcus Rashford. And that's it. I said this yesterday on the paddock. I'm done with him. I'm not going to cheer him. He could score a winning goal in the Manchester derby, and I'll still say you're an arrogant. You're fucking arrogant. You know what I mean? If he was doing this week in, week out, performing well, we wouldn't have an issue, would we? If he was banging them in left, right, and centre, he was our leading goal scorer. We're in with a chance at the top 4. The goals are there. He's doing assists. He's helping, working for the shirt. I won't be bothered. Nobody be bothered. But I think he's at a crossroads. He's insulted the United fans this week, and he's taking a piss. Now there will be fans who are Team Rashford, not Team Man United. And I'm backing Rashford. I'm backing my boy. Blah 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 blah. Well, that's your opinion, but this is where discipline comes in. And this team, the last few years, has not had discipline at all. And it needs discipline. And like I say, Mr. B with the thumbnail, very tongue-in-cheek, Mr. B. On this after that. This team needs discipline. It has got away with everything the last few years. When we get to a major semi-final or final, where was Rashford in the Europa League final? Nowhere. Mental block, couldn't do it. Euro final, mental block, couldn't do it. Mr. Pellet, and that affected him the following season. He kicks off in a game, I think. He kicked off with fans because fans were giving it him after the Villa game in an FA Cup tie. You know what I mean? There was a certain... do you know what I mean? I think it was that he was attacking the Stretford end, and Mason Greenwood had a shot. It was saved, and the crowd screamed at him. This was under Radnick. just after January. This was January 2022. And everyone screamed at him, like, what's your problem? And outside, he had an altercation. He turned around and giving it that, hand signals to the fans who give him some abuse. Then within an hour, maybe a few hours, he apologised. I shouldn't have done it, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. There's something personal going on in his life. I don't know what it is. I've heard rumours of gambling around the Manchester scene. You hear that in the Manchester scene? I don't know if that's true. I hope it's not true. Maybe he had a crash last year, didn't he? After the Blackburn game, maybe that rattled him. He coming out of Carrington, wrote off his car. He's lost. I remember when he scored against Everton, Joe the Pen, and he gave a tribute. He lost a family friend or like somebody's family. That can affect people, but it's something. It's something other than. I don't know what it is. It's something mental, like a Jadon Sancho thing. And do you know what? If you're crying out for help, Rashford, just be humble and admit it. You know what I mean? Don't take the attitude, I'm Johnny Big Bollocks. I can do what I want. No one can touch me now. I'm the Manchester boy, born and bred from Wivenshaw. Mate, you're just passing through. You're just passing through. There'll be another idol in a few years, and he's called Garnacho. And there'll be another one called Hoyland. You're just passing through. You can't, let's say, make it all about abuse. Right? He claims to be Manchester red through and through. Oh, I'll go out on a derby. Look, that was planned. That was his birthday, fine. We just lost to Man City 3-0. And even I walked home in the pissing rain, seething. You know what I mean? And it was his birthday, which is fair enough. But, you know what? You could have changed your plans. He had to apologise to that because a lot of United fans were angry at the performance. You could say even Rashford, he trudged off in the second half at the Stretford end. The abuse he got that day, the lack of effort from the team, especially Rashford. And like you say, he's just... If you go to Newcastle as well, he was arms up. What's going on? What's going on? And he's on his own on the other side, and his arms up, moaning. Well, why you give me the ball? Give me the ball. And I've also heard the things today. He was jealous. Last night, I heard this. On Saeed TV. There's rumours it was him who questioned the signing of Hoyland.
Yeah, I did. I did guess that.
So you're undermining a teammate when you think you're Johnny Big Bollocks. A lot of money, too much time on his hands. You know what I mean? Like, it's all about that now. Yeah, you're right, Rashford. You're right, mate, because it's all up there now. What's going on up there? Only you can sort out. So all that last season, yeah, well, now it's fucking that because the way you are playing the United fans for fools. I'm not having it. You get the fans who love Rashford. I get it. You know what I mean? But the older fans now can see it. You want to upset the kids. I don't care. You know what I mean? My dad was giving Rashford some statement. Somebody said, you can't say that. My son loves Rashford. I don't give a toss. Rashford can do no wrong in the kids' eyes and the older, like in the 20s, and you know what I mean? The 20 bracket. He can't do no wrong, but anybody over 30, 40, 50, he's not pulling his weight and he needs to be made an example. And if this happens again, you know what I mean? I've seen it. He was told today, this happens again, you know what? There's the door. Go.
Do you think that he, obviously, if he's been given, I mean, look, 2 weeks' wages is 2 weeks' wages. Whatever the figure is, but it's not going to bother him too much. It's just 2 weeks' wages.
650K.
Yeah. Look, he earns double that every month. So 1 month where he maybe doesn't have to go China White and pay the bar bill, it is not really going to bother him too much. Do you think that there's ways of getting yourself out of a club?
I think he's out of
and
touch.
There's ways of club removing players. Now I'm just going a slightly different way here. Ronaldo, highest earner. Sancho, highest earner. Varane, they want to be moving on, highest earner. Casemiro, they want to be moving. And now Rashford, he's brought this on himself. Before anybody says to me, yeah, he's brought it on himself. But I'm just, do you feel that it could be, because you said something about maybe these things have been happening already. But because he was scoring goals, it was covered up. Yeah, you don't know. Ten Hag ain't for covering nobody. He's
no, I'm not saying he has done it. I'm talking maybe if you look at it, things looked up previous managers, Mourinho, Ole, look the other way.
No, that's what I'm saying. But Ten Hag isn't cut from that cloth. He wants everybody to be totally professional.
You got to be, because this is what this team needs. This club and team need discipline. And if you can't take the discipline, a successful team has discipline. City, discipline. Liverpool, discipline. You step out of line, you're gone at them clubs. Arsenal, discipline. Arteta, he rooted out all the bad apples, didn't he? And he's got his team go. They run on discipline. Even Tottenham Hotspur run on discipline. Aston Villa run on discipline. You will never be successful unless you have discipline running throughout your club, whether it be from the youth team to the reserves, going down to the first team. I am done with player power. I am sick to the back teeth. And
Monday, you've been nodding your head.
What?
You've been nodding. No, sir, I was just saying the Monday's been nodding his head as soon as you heard player power. That's twice you've heard player power and you've gone. So what's your opinion on the player power? Do you think that they've actually got too much power now, yeah?
Yeah, most certainly. This is a good subject to talk about. I think Andy's touched on everything, and passionately as well. Well said, Andy. Because I'm sure everyone in the comments is nodding with you. We do agree, and we're not having a go at someone. You know, you set yourself up to fail, don't you? If you've got rules and you break the law, then you're going to get punished for it. And we live by that. I mean, there's laws in this country. If I'm speeding, if I do something wrong, and I'm aware of it, you know, then that's just ignorance. Do you understand what I'm saying? If I go do something wrong and I know it's the law and I know what the law is, and I do something wrong and I break that law, turn up late for work, there's to be a punishment for that. You know, do something wrong at work, break my contract, this is going to be punishment. This is how the life that we live in, you know, and there's got to be discipline for that. When you're growing up as a child, you're supposed to get the discipline, supposed to be helping you because it helps you, deterring you from the bad behavior. It's supposed to do that, whether you get smacked or get told off or you get bad.
You're not allowed to say that one day. You're not allowed to say that.
Yeah,
anymore.
Of course. But then that's why I say when you two parents, you got mum might tell you off in a different way. But I know, Mr. B, with your bassy voice, I would be peeing myself if you shout. I was your son, you know. You see what I'm saying? But that's how you learn discipline, and I think it's important. I just think what we're seeing here with the situation. I watch things like there's a lot of YouTube shows about young ballers, you know, little kids, and they all talk the same, they all act the same. And I'm thinking, you're doing it all wrong, guys, because it's a cultural thing. What we're showing with Rashford, raving, flashing it up, Sancho, raving, flashing it up, all that kind of thing. These youngsters who are coming up and wanting to get into the game of football are soon going to realize that's the wrong way to go about it. Do not idolize players like Rashford and that, because you, at a proper club, you want to get to the top level, like Andy's saying, where it's professional and we've done this player power BS and people want to win. You need to change your attitude, because even if you've got that attitude, the manager might not trust you. You understand what I'm saying? You might look at you, you've got that haircut, you've got that earring, you've got that raving thing. They might not trust you. So if you're a footballer growing up, you need to get good advice to say, don't follow that culture. If you do that behind the scenes, after football, outside of that, yeah, do what you want. But while you're in and around the football and you're coming through and you want to be part of the team, you have to, even if you go, all right, mate, all right, let's go and have a pint, all that, just do it, because the culture of football does not accept that sort of stupid behavior. And it's really indisciplined, it's wrong, and it has to be cut out, especially at the highest level like Man United. And everyone as well who's saying that Ten Hag is a poor manager, I think he's doing a good job because he set some standards, and if you fall below those standards, he will pull you up on it. Whereas before, maybe this didn't happen. So he's looking good now. The performances might be poor, but for this situation, he's looking good, like a good manager, and he's keeping things in check. So I respect him for that.
All right, just a little 1 sec, Andy. Just a little something, just following up from Amonde's point about being professional. During an interview with High Performance Podcast, McTominay said the manager is so demanding. and he's got so much high standards that the whole squad have to comply with, which I think is brilliant. I think that's the way it should be, especially when you play for a club like Manchester United. We all have to act accordingly and be professional in terms of everything we do. He's massive on timing, massive on everything looking the same. We're in the same tracksuits and clothes. This all contributes to a good team. So no one, I didn't see that last bit
Sorry,
there. So no one has a big ego. Do you think this is what's crushing these players who maybe want to be individuals? You know, it is all about team. It is all about a team ethic. You know, these guys, they want to be different. They want to stand out from the crowd. You know, do you think that?
I do think Rashford is taking on a mentality like a Sancho, or even his best friends with Kylian and Mbappe as well. They do talk, like you say, they're well respected. They well respect each other. I was talking to Robbie from AFTV last night, and I was messaging him, and I said, your boy Saka is the perfect example of everything that is right with a young footballer. He concentrates, he works hard, he trains, he loves his club, he loves his fans, and he hasn't got an image. You know what I mean? And he just works hard, and he plays his football and enjoys it. So Rashford, there's the difference. Saka, tell you what, in the summer, if United could get Saka, I'd dump Rashford in North London.
I'll be honest. I
would swap him like that, even though Arteta and the Arsenal fans will be absolutely in uproar. But I would swap Rashford for Saka any day of the week because I respect that lad so much. And this is where the other players, our young lads, are coming in. Kobe, stay as you are. Don't get influenced by egos in the dressing room. Don't think you're big. Work hard. Keep doing what you're doing and smile. Enjoy your football. Keep your family around you. Don't be influenced by people around you. You know what I mean? You know you're capable of doing it. You know what? You are the apprentice. It's like Darth Vader, a young Anakin. He has all the potential. Then he just goes absolutely off the rails. That's what Rashford is at the moment, and he's at that point. No, it's just an analogy, like you say. People laugh at it, but it's just like you say. Somebody in the comments said, "With great power comes great responsibility. With a shitload of money comes great responsibility. You've got to earn that paycheck every week," and he's not doing it.
Yeah, but certainly. Loads of comments coming through. Let's just touch on the comments because we want to bring you guys in. You've got a lot to say for yourselves, and there's a lot of stuff coming through is really good as well. Lucky Singh saying that soon learn as the fan base better. I'm reading that wrong, maybe. I can see what you're saying. Immaturity, says Andrew. He's a senior player now surely. It's called being an arrogant tosser.
I look, Andrew. What I will say to Andrew is I don't agree with that. I hate agree with Andrew, but it's got to the stage where I just think Rashford's great. I do, but it's got to the stage where I'm feeling like he has to go. I don't think finding him 2 weeks of wages is enough. He needs to be either dropped for games. You know, he's not going to tell him to go and train with the first team, but sit him on the bench, sit his arse on the bench, you know, and hope that Garnacho, because he doesn't play better than Garnacho when he plays. He gets in the same positions as Garnacho, but runs into the player. At least Garnacho will stand a man up and have a shot on target. All right, we know he should be passing a lot more, and maybe after the weekend, the more selfish players we have will understand that it's all about team. At the moment, you see a selfishness with Rashford in his attitude towards the club and the fans. You see a selfishness with Garnacho that he always wants to score. Maybe that's what's running for the club. And until Ten Hag is able, because he hasn't had the power to remove the players he wanted to remove. let's be honest, McTominay and Maguire, maybe not McTominay, but Maguire, he definitely wanted to shift in the summer, wasn't able to shift him. If he's able now to shift out what he doesn't want, and that includes, if it means that Marcus Rashford goes, then Marcus Rashford goes. But do you feel that the club are going to go in the marketing side of it, where, you know, the Glazers obviously wouldn't have sold him because
can't do it now. No,
right.
No.
And this is the point that I'm making. The fact that Ineos have control of the football side of it now. Marcus is a footballer, but he's also this big, you know, this big marketing brand that they've got. He's the face of. So this is what I'm asking. Do you think that Ten Hag and Ineos, they will back Ten Hag if he says, I want Rashford gone?
Yeah.
They're going to have to. They're going to have to, because the Glazers basically have Kentucky Fried Chickened the club for the last 10 years, 18 years, and now it can't be about commercialism. You want to go forward. They give complete control to the football side, and they got their money. They got their share. We are basically we are, like I say, on a one good credit card that is absolutely getting declined left, right, and centre. Now we have to go forward, and like I say, Ineos, if the Glazers try to stick their nose in on this, it's going to kick off in the boardroom. You know, this is what he say. That man from that new lad from Man City, is he going to make that big decision? You know, we need him gone. You know, Brailsford. So Brailsford's going to say, even Sir Jim will not be happy about this. Do you know what I mean? Sir Jim, well, like you say, you know, there's a big decision needs to be made in the summer. Like you say, if this happens again, I couldn't care less now. As far as I'm concerned, he's done with me.
If he does it again, you feel that he does it because he wants to leave and he's going to force the move. Because if he's been told, don't do it again.
I mean, like I said, I've heard the rumours he wasn't happy with Hoyland signing. Who the fuck you think you are, man? I've heard that with Wayne Rooney years ago. Joe questioning the signings. Wayne Rooney's like, who are we signing? So if Rashford, if it's true, has come out, who's this Ireland lad? Oh, you upset because you're not the star boy anymore? You know what I mean? It was the last star was David Beckham, but I tell you what, he was the most true professional going. He kept it going even till the end when Fergie got rid of him. You know what I mean? So at least he backed it. And I tell you what, Rashford, you'll never get a title winning medal in Manchester. You might get one in a French Farmers League in Paris.
You think that's where he'll go?
Yeah, I think he will. You know what I mean? It's the fashion, it's the style, it's the lifestyle. Ooh la la. Here, as a young child out on the street, here, have a croissant, feed yourself. Have a coffee, feed yourself. You know, ooh la la, I am the savior of the kids in Paris. I shall feed them on the Champs-Elysees all the way down with my family. You know what I mean?
Well, look, to be fair,
will be rubbing her hands. Shirt sales, fucking hell, whatever. Croissant sales, crumpet.
It could work.
Fucking onions. The onion sales. Rashford will be on a bike with onions around him. Chats. Ooh la la, I feed the kids. Whatever. I'm sick of what he's gone. I've had enough of him. Do you know what? He could come back this weekend. He's not with the Wolves game, is he? He could come back Sunday, score an hat-trick, and I still say, I don't like you anymore, Rashford. I'm sick to the back teeth for you. He scores an hat-trick and does that. I go, do you know what? Fuck off. I did that a few years ago with Nani. Nani was giving it large at the old Trafford, missing. And when he scored, he come up to my section with my dad, and he was giving that. I mean, my dad's like, fuck off, Nani. You big shit for 75 minutes, and you scored a goal, and you think you're Johnny Big Bollocks. So, no, this player power thing, it needs to be put. You have to run this through. Assert your authority. This team needs discipline, and Ten Hag needs to be backed. And he has to learn from his own mistakes as well. Big decisions are going to be made in the next few months. And then he has to play hardball with agents, I'm telling you.
I agree. You know what? You made a good question there. Should that come into consideration? Yes, a little bit, but also you have to go with the manager. You have to back him. We need to turn this around. Ineos looked at the fortunes of the club over the last 10 years and making stupid mistakes like that about player merchandise and that kind of thing. And it can't be done this time around. This too much has gone wrong for Manchester United in all this time. And Rashford, just a representation of that. His face right now, just as Andy's saying there, his face just represents a bad culture in football.
I've seen a video of him at parking his Bugatti Veyron or what it is, F1 McLaren on double yellow lines, and he just don't give a toss. And he's getting a ticket and just driving off.
Yeah.
Seriously. You know, if I get a parking ticket, I'm going to struggle to fucking pay it.
But there you go. If he's not respecting rules like that, like I said earlier about the laws that we have to abide by, if he thinks he just park his big old car anywhere in town and think get away with it, then what's he going to respect about turning up at training on time and everything else? We need players. Look at you mentioned Paris Saint-Germain and what's happened there. All the great players they had at one point and ill discipline. Neymar was going away to Brazil, feigning injury, getting yellow cards.
Christmas, yeah.
Yeah, Mbappe was doing all kinds of madness.
Every match, he went away with his sister for a birthday.
That's right, for a birthday. And all this kind of ill discipline. And if you want to rub shoulders with players like that who think they've made it, you're not going to win anything. Real, like you guys are saying, real winners, real hard-working teams come with discipline. And he's not bringing that. And like you said, what really made my heart jump there is when you mentioned the influence that this player should have. It should be a positive influence. You can affect someone or infect someone. I think there's a good and bad.
He will infect Kobe Mainu if he stays and carries on like this. He will infect the other young players.
But he should be affecting him. You should be affecting him, but he's going to infect him. And that's why I think this is crucial, not because of, he's a good player, whatever. It's crucial he goes now because there's a bunch of good youngsters coming through and they don't need role models like that.
Definitely, you could easily get a decent chunk transfer fee and buy it on players for the future because we are in this is an Ineos what a clean slate and an statement. Then you start with that.
I've got one. When Pep was at Barcelona, they had Ronaldinho, and obviously Messi was the guy who they obviously rightly predicted was going to be the great one.
I like we go.
He got rid of Ronaldinho because he was a bad influence on Messi. Maybe not pitch wise, but outside of football, lifestyle wise. Do you think this is something that where Manchester United should be moving towards? Because that move at the time, a lot of people didn't understand. Why are you going to get rid of Ronaldinho and you've got Messi, play them in the same team? But for Messi's future, I'm not saying he idolized Ronaldinho, but there's certain things that certain players have that certain players look up to. And obviously on the pitch, Ronaldinho was that guy. Mainu could see Rashford coming through the youth ranks the same as him. The same sort of thing, breaking through at the same sort of age. He's only come into the squad through injury, to be fair. Starting as much games as he has through injury. Rashford started because
of an injury against Midtjylland. Martial went down and you only got your chance because Martial went down against a team of
But he took his chance. See what I mean? So do you feel that maybe that's what needs to be moved out of the club? Because, Bath Time did a show about McTominay. I couldn't watch it. Bath Time. Apologies. I couldn't watch it. And they will talk about wanting more players like McTominay now. I lost my mind. But I think it may be the attitude side of it that they want. Obviously, you get players with more technical ability, but that attitude where you want to be a professional, you want to push yourself to the limits.
I don't know. I really don't know. Like I say that last comment, he's walking around Manchester with 150k chains. Wow. It's you know what I mean? If that's what it is, like you say, I think he is out of touch with the fans. But if he's down tools, I think, like you say, I think he's been severely reprimanded now. Behind the scenes, he's severely been sold off.
Good.
Even if he wasn't hungover, if he was tired, it's still not an excuse. If he wasn't, if all you were drinking was water, but you can't be asked, to get an early flight. You have to get an early plane in. You land.
Private jet.
Half an hour flying into Manchester. Oh, I'm knackered. I'm gonna, go straight home and to bed. And you can't get up now. Not having that, man. Not having that.
Guys, you know what? You just Stephanie's right. There's 20 of you guys watching, and we have only got 10 likes. It doesn't take much to hit that like button. Thank you, Stephanie. I'll
give an example. Do you remember a few years ago, Rashford went on holiday with Jesse Lingard and a couple of other players, and you see Jesse Lingard like filming himself, beans, yo, beans. And Marcus Rashford was looking at it and shaking his head like, what you doing, lad? What you doing? Rashford didn't want to be any part of it. Well, now, 7 years later, you're part of it, Rasher. That's the problem. So, maybe the beans has got to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, most certainly. It's crazy, isn't it? I think what we're talking about here, but I think we're all in agreement that he has to go, or at least be transfer listed or something. Just show everyone around the club that we're making a statement about how we go forward. Show the youngsters this is not acceptable, and show anyone coming into the club this is not the culture that Man United is about, where you're thinking you're some sort of superstar and you can get away with murder, which is not right.
He has been a Monday, and maybe that's what it is. As I said, maybe he has been getting away with it. He has been getting away with it. He needs his
wings clipped. He needs to be brought down to earth on Monday, like you say. He's been caught.
His wings being clipped, does that mean that he stays? And because let's be honest, his performances this season have been atrocious. Even last season, he scored goals. How much assists did he have? How much time did he get his head up and play?
He had a blind for 5 months.
Right.
He had a blind to 5 months. As soon as we won that Carabao Cup, he just run out of gas. He's like an F1 car. That was it. But
what is it? What do you think? We're talking about the players. We hear from the manager. We don't hear from the players. What do you think the players would be saying behind the scenes? Like, we don't know. Sancho's obviously got a bee in his bonnet about the management and the culture, the change at the club. But what do you think the players will be saying? Because we heard Ronaldo. That's the first time I got some insight into someone calling.
Ronaldo was right.
Ronaldo was right at the current time about the situation at the club. Live to everybody, aired it out there, and you don't hear this until the autobiography once people are retired and long gone. But to hear that live, so I always wonder, what would Rashford be saying right now? Would he be kissing his teeth, saying, "Nah, this ain't right. I want it done my way," or people don't understand what's going on? What would he say? What would be his speech?
If he's thinking he's a victim in this, then you are seriously deluded, mate. You are seriously deluded, Marcus. So if you see this and gets back to you, like you say, fans don't like me, fans like me. That's the mentality I have, and I think that's what Rashford's got. It's the mentality. People like me, people don't like me. I don't care. I'm untouchable. You know what I mean? That no one can bring me down. You know what I mean?
Andy, where does that attitude come from?
It's the money.
It's not you guys on the terrace. Cheering him on and making him feel like he's $1 million, because they say it's a better feeling. They say it's a better feeling than having sex, don't they? When you score a goal, especially Old Trafford, scoring a goal at Old Trafford like he did in his debut, and then he's lifted up. He's feels it.
Scoring at Old Trafford, like it feels like getting your end away to a certain point. I mean, it's the best feeling in the world. You know what I mean? Scoring at Old Trafford, even going to Old Trafford, I still get that buzz into me. It comes, then Man United start playing and it disappears. You know what I mean? It's still, I may be nearly 50 years old, but I'm still that kid at heart. When I was 8 years old going to Old Trafford, I still get that buzz. You know what I mean? It should be in every Man United player. If you come through the academy, you should get it. But like you say, you've got something, if you've got a bee in your bonnet and you're the victim mentality, we've talked about this, Yamundo. Today's modern footballer, I'm the victim. Why have I done? Why have been? You've got Kyle Walker apologising.
I know for whopping
Coming out for
out
what he
his
did
two
to Keane and
kids.
his wife. You know what I mean? Do you know, it wouldn't surprise me if the Sun brought that out to take the sting out of Marcus Rashford this weekend. You know, they printed it. So, do you know what I mean? Like, let's take the because if that didn't come out, everything's on Rashford. Everything's on Rashford. They printed that because maybe, the media protect Marcus Rashford a fucking lot. They protect him. You know what I mean?
He has played a lot of few games. I think if you're going to give to charity, you should do it quietly and not big yourself up. I don't think that's a good thing to do. I'm sure on my funeral you'll hear a lot of good things about me that I've done in silence to help people out, and I don't ask for any exposure or anything like that. What he did with the schools thing, I think, did he think one day I want to do this, or do you think someone behind him,
His marketing team,
might have suggested that to him to raise your profile and give you a bit more power and things? Because my question was, what's got him to this stage where he feels entitled, where he feels that he's the man to drive around town with a big gold chain and park wherever he wants and not turn up at training, get private jets here, there, wherever. Where did this young boy from Wivington or Wivenshaw, wherever he comes from, where did he come from that to being lifted up that high? And I think sometimes the fans are to blame for boasting him up, but someone has to bring him down to earth. And I'm glad that the manager's at least attempting to do it. A bit too late, but I think the manager's attempted to do it at a stage where, this is two egos going at each other and someone's going to lose. And hopefully this time it's not the manager, as we've seen in the past with player power.
Yeah, definitely. The player power thing has to stop it. I mean, you do get skirmishes at other football clubs, but I've never known any other football club in the last few years to have player power. Maybe a little bit of Chelsea, the way it got Mourinho.
Yeah, but they were. But
a little bit, and before that, Real Madrid. But I've never known any other club to have player power.
Yeah, but they were winners. So they kicked the manager out because they wanted to win. We're just kicking managers out. The players are getting because they don't want to train hard enough.
Laurie
Or it's a change to their system.
The case is closed and is available for selection.
Right. Now, Dan, this was the question that I asked. Is it enough? Because me personally, I know we've got Wolves and I know we need to beat Wolves, but Rashford doesn't start that game. Garnacho still starts and Anthony still starts.
I just got that.
Throw him to the Wolves. Throw him in the deep end, and if he spits his dummy out Thursday, do you know what? And I say, is he going to come out with a public apology? I'm sorry, I did wrong. I'm sorry to the fans.
No, he's not.
He's not. If it's kept it in house, internal matter, as Ten Hag said, internal matter. Yes, do you know? So I'm just done. I'll tell you what. I will give Rashford shit on Sunday, Old Trafford. Number 10, Pisshead. Hey, you know what I mean? Pisshead scores again. Do you know what I mean? I'll just.
So there's no coming back now. You're done. You're done with Marcus. Yeah.
No matter what. Do you know what? He could if he goes on and we win 15 games out of 17 this season, finishing a top 4, win the FA Cup. Then maybe I'll look the other way and forget it. But I don't see that happening. Do you? You could score the winning goal in the FA Cup final if we play Man City again this season. And maybe I'll look the other way. Can I forgive you because you bottled it the year before? But at the moment, mate, no, the ice is thin. And with me, mate, Rashford, you fell through the ice now. You are under the water, and I am going to be so cold to you. And I would never raise my hand to pull you up and pick you up. That's how I'm feeling.
So the news is that he's going to be available for Wolves. That suggests to me that he's taken it all in and instead had a conversation with the manager and maybe apologised, which something we maybe start giving credit for.
Monday. I know. I get it. He's apologised. Sancho didn't apologise. I understand. But Andrew put it in the group, put it in the chat a little bit earlier on.
Yeah.
He thought it was the team that, who did we play? I don't remember. We played Newport, and just said, "Oh, F it.
Yeah.
I can't be asked," you know. And that is the part that it doesn't sit easy with me, because he knew what he was doing. He didn't go to Ireland and there was a snowstorm and he couldn't get back, or you know, he raved for 2 days. And at what stage of the night did he say, "I ain't going training. I'm not going. I can't be bothered"? I mean, as I said, he could have got the plane, got a private Uber or whatever they do, and gone to training. All right, he trained crap, but you guess what? Nobody can't say then that he's not committed to the club. Oh, Rashford went out training, but he turned up.
I've got him workout hungover, but I've still got through the day. I was sick a couple of times, but I got through it. Do you know what I mean? You could have done that, Rashford, and I don't think anybody would have been bothered.
Oh boy! So he might be back in the starting lineup.
Yeah,
according to reports now.
Yeah,
but it still remains. I mean, he doesn't deserve to be, rewarded in any way. 2 weeks fine. That's a lot of money to us, but maybe not to him. He's got good investments. He's got a private playing as well, and all these things going on. So I don't know, man. I just think the culture needs to change, and I think you need to eradicate that, exterminate that out of the club as soon as possible.
Mr. Dalek.
Yeah, I usually go that way, don't I? To be honest, I mean, in the prime of your career, you're going to look back in a few years' time and say, "I wasted that opportunity there." You've had big tournaments.
Yeah, look at Neymar. Neymar will regret not winning anything. Couple of pub league titles, not Champions League, not a World Cup.
The World Cup in your home nation.
I know. Neymar will have regrets. Yeah. Absolute regrets.
That's what it's all about. When you're old and you're finished and you can't club anymore, you can't draw the girls or whatever, you're going to look back and say, "What sort of a legend am I?" And I think Eric Cantona hasn't got the medals internationally, but he's a legend at the club for what he did. And he loves that. He loves that sort of standard he's got when he comes to the Man United. We adore him because of his legendary status, because of what he did, what he achieved with us at the club. So it doesn't take much. Just put your head down for a few years while you're a professional, and to make sure you give you everything to the game, and people will reflect and say you're a proper player for the club. You might even get a statue. But at the moment, when you've got players like Rooney, who represent, he's a Scouser, he came to our club and really showed the desire and showed he's a winner, and we won things, that he's going to be looked upon far better than Rashford, who's not even going to come close, in my opinion. And this is really damning for him and for the culture of players coming through who are following players like Rashford and Sancho and that sort of attitude. You're not going to make it in the game, guys. Football is a fraternity, and you cannot bring that attitude to that.
Fear for Kobe. I do fear for Kobe if he carries on like this, Rasha. Kobe, I don't want any of the youngsters to fall under the influence of Marcus Rashford.
Kobe's gone.
Even Mason Greenwood. If Mason Greenwood comes back, I do not want them to fall under the spell of them.
That's a risk as well, isn't it?
Because Kobe will be looking up to them.
Yeah.
Well, let's say not now, obviously, but he may still look up. Like, no, mate, no. Be yourself. Be yourself.
Everyone looks up to someone. I always look up to people who are older than me and cooler than me. And I'd say, what they're into. Look at their dance steps. Look at what music they're into. Look at them their presence when they walk into a club, and all the girls are drawn to them. Kobe, young players are impressed by things like that. So I just hope someone steers Kobe away from that kind of attention and thing, because hopefully he's got good grounding. There's a great comment earlier about Bellingham and Saka, who you mentioned, Andy, how professional they are. They've got some foundation there, which is sort of steering them away from that BS lifestyle that some of these footballers are living right now.
Yeah, definitely. And I do think they are the prime examples of footballers who can get it right. And, not be swayed, influenced by, like I say, he's gone to, like I say, one of the biggest clubs in the world, Bellingham. and he's actually doing it. And like I say, you can't fault him for it. You know what I mean? He's humble, absolute humble, and so Saka. But they say these Man United players, like you say, I'll give you that. Phil Foden, ultimate professional. He's won everything, and he's 24. He's 24. Marcus Rashford, what the fuck have you won? Fucking a League Cup and an FA Cup, nothing else, mate. Mate, you will never, ever be on the level of Phil Foden. Never.
Oh, God.
Any more PowerPoints that we've missed out on? Because I feel
there was one, but we kind of went past the topic. To be fair,
right.
It was just oh no, because you know what? Nah, we've gone past that. We can leave that. To be fair, but look, we're so he's back in the squad. So obviously we'll see what Solo's 11 is all about on Wednesday. Look, he's back in the squad. I hope he benches him. He has to put him back in the squad. It is what it is. Internal matter, it's been dealt with. I hope he's benched. I hope he doesn't start. I think if he walks straight back in, it sets a bad example for the rest of the team. You could only find him 2 weeks.
He walks back in and he scores an hat-trick Thursday. Do you just forget about it?
No.
If he scores a couple, if we get 2 wins out of the next 2 games and he's scoring 3 legs, do you forget it? Or do you
because I don't see. To be honest, I don't care about him scoring. We've got a centre forward who is not scoring because they won't pass to him. Become a team player. Once I start seeing that, then that's more, to me, that's going to be more than scoring at the moment. I'm not interested in how much goals he scores. I want to know how much goals he puts on a plate for Højlund.
Yeah,
Definitely.
certainly. There's great examples there. Like even Phil Foden. I mean, he was held back by Pep, but Pep, I believe, is the man who's keeping him in line. Because remember, Phil Foden was with Greenwood when they were on international duty, and they got
with the gal. Yeah.
He had that little liaison with a couple of
late at night, but since then, Foden's gone one way, been professional and stuck his head down, and look at the successes he's had. And then Greenwood went the other way, and he's had a lot of bad luck, I say bad luck, but you know what I mean. A lot of things have gone wrong for him. So it's decision making, isn't it? And the support network around you. So I hope these guys can sort of, turn it around and sort of take the slap in the face, take some punishment, and stop thinking that you're above all of this, because you're not. You're not, most certainly.
Well, look, we've hit our time, Andy. As always. Thank you very much. I love when your mouth goes, but you kept it. I'm going to assume you had calmed down a lot because I had my my bleep machine ready for you, and
I didn't swear much,
too much. No, it was
one swear word. Like I say, Marcus, you want to feed the kids in Paris crumpets. Go ahead, bonjour. Hey, my little child, that is your croissant. Marcus is you. Au revoir.
Guys, on Monday. Are we back tomorrow? We are back tomorrow.
Yeah, it's Tuesday tomorrow, isn't it? So about on Wednesday we'll be doing a preview. No, sorry, on Tuesday we'll be doing a preview show. That's
tomorrow. Are we? Well, look, guys, look.
And Wednesday, I think Rebel and the boys, the Irish boys.
Yeah, I might have a technical problem tomorrow. I'm getting new internet put in the next couple of days, so I'm going to be offline. So until Thursday at least.
As long as you get online to watch us duffing Wolves, yeah, we're Rashford come.
I've still got 4 or 5G, you know what I mean?
There you go.
I'm going to be offline for a few days until my new link up comes through. So yeah, cancel.
Okay, just quickly, a quiz tomorrow. I'm happy to do a quiz. If anyone's interested in coming on to the quiz show tomorrow, put a message in and message us on Twitter. We're on Twitter. Can you get the Twitter messages, Mr. B?
Yeah. I get.
Message us on Twitter if you want to come on the show and do a quiz. We could do it tomorrow. I'm always ready to go. But if you want to face the quiz master, just give us a shout on Twitter.
And you don't need your camera. This is what people. You don't need your camera.
Google. This is the one.
But how
be timing
quick?
it,
Yeah, exactly. How quick are they going to go? You know, bath time. As soon as bath time presses his button, the whole world knows he's pressing it. So unless they've got these silent ones or these ear ones, I think we'll be absolutely fine. To be fair.
Okay. Well, could be quiz tomorrow then, and then the preview as well coming up. But Andy, big up, man. Thanks for jumping on board. I
Yeah,
have seen
I
you around.
enjoyed it, mate. It's a bit of therapy for myself.
Yeah.
When you got family problems, like you know, so this just takes a sting out of it, and it gives me a little laugh. And even my missus says, "You go do your podcasts, you could," you know what I mean? So yeah, happy days.
It's nice when we get permission from the ladies to do what we want, innit? Guys, with that, we're out.